With Age of Sigmar 2nd edition coming out in a couple of days, it's time to have a look at Scenic Bases. So I've picked up some Scenic Bases for my Stormcast. Because I'm going to be painting up both the Stormcast and the Nighthaunt to be display armies and use them in battle reports. So we have 20 40mm bases and two 60mm bases. No, 6 60mm bases with all this additional pieces here. Let's have a good look at what you get in the box. So you get 2 sprues of this. So you've got the skulls to chop out and add to individual bases. You've got 2 of each of these designs. You've got 2 with these big cracks. You've got 1, 2, 3 that very much got floor pieces, maybe 4. You've got some designs on them. You've got some things that are reflected again in the larger bases, and you can cobble them from there. Looking at it, they're reasonably nice. The detail is there and would likely get brought out by dry brushing, but it's reasonably shallow detail. I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see it a little better. You can see the pebbles, you can see the bits of the design on the ground, you can see the skulls embedded in the rock, but if I tilt it this way a little bit, you can see that it's there, but their features are reasonably flat. So I'm going to do a little bit of converting of these bases, because I'm going to have 19 Stormcast that I'm going to need to put on these from the new set. Looking at the 60mm bases, you actually have quite a lot of stuff that you can use to decorate other bases. So I was thinking of getting an oval base to put the general on, but I might be able to do it with these pieces. You've also got all these mushrooms as well that you can add. I'm sure Goblin players would love to get their hands on these. But again, you've got 2 sprues of these, so you've got, again, big cracks in some of them, skulls. Again, the detail isn't hugely, there's not a huge amount of depth to it because of essentially how these are put together. However, I think it's still enough that a dry brush or careful line work would bring it all out. So this retails for £20. In terms of the sheer number of Scenic Bases, it is actually pretty good. You've got 20 40mm and 6 65mm bases. You've got all these extra pieces here, and you've got 8 extra skulls on each of the 40mm sprues. So I probably wouldn't hesitate to get something like this if I wanted to do bases for my whole army, because just the price versus resin bases. Resin bases, you'll be paying a couple of quid per 5, maybe more like 4 or 5 for 40mm, and then a couple of quid per big base like this, and you won't get these extra pieces. The question is whether these will match up nicely with the Scenic Bases that you get with the easy to build kits. I am going to go with painting them in a similar scheme, grey with black and brown washes, but what I will most likely do is add, with some green stuff, some leaves to it to tie it together, and add a couple of skulls from the skull sprue, again to make the base a little more three-dimensional. A little green stuff worked with leaves and a little bit of extra stones here and there will combat a lot of the flat appearance of some of these bases. So I won't be using them stock, I will be doing some things with them. but the next time you're likely to see them is when I'm painting up the Stormcast from Soul Wars. My advice, if you are looking at Scenic Bases, it is a good set. However, I wouldn't hesitate to make some changes, add some things, and generally mess around with it in order to have a situation where they're more 3D and more individual. Because bear in mind, you've got 2 of each of these, so you might want to mix them up a bit. But yeah, I like the set. It's alright. If you're a beginning modeler, it is actually a pretty good set and worth the money compared to the resin stuff you'd get online. So yeah, reasonably positive review. If you've liked this video, hit like or subscribe. If you feel strongly, leave a comment below. Otherwise, good gaming.